Well, in a landmark judgment today, a bench of Justices D.Y. Chandrachud and M.R. Shah allowed the applications of a certain number of women who had approached the Supreme Court stating that the Babita Punia judgment of 2020, which had opened the gates of permanent commission for women in the Indian Army, was not being followed. The court has now allowed these women to get permanent commission in the Indian Army subject to the fitness terms and conditions as prescribed in the judgment. The court in this judgment has noted that the structure of our society is created by males and for males, and which may seem pretty normal and harmless, is actually a reflection of the insidious patriarchal system. We must recognize here that the structures of our society have been created by males and for males. As a result, certain structures that may seem to be the norm and may appear to be harmless are a reflection of the insidious patriarchal system. A facially equal application of laws to unequal parties is a farce when the law is structured to cater to a male standpoint. Presently, adjustments both in thought and letter are necessary to rebuild the structures of an equal society. These adjustments and amendments, however, are not concessions being granted to a set of persons, but instead are the wrongs being remedied to obliterate years of oppression of opportunities which should have been granted to women. It is not enough to proudly state that women officers are allowed to serve the nation in the armed forces when the true picture of their service condition tells a different story. A superficial sense of equality is not in the true spirit of the Constitution and attempts to make equality only symbolic. The Supreme Court of India thereby held that the administrative requirement of the Indian Army comparing a women short service commissioned officer with a male counterpart of the lowest merit is arbitrary. Furthermore, the court held that all women officers who have fulfilled the cutoff grade of 60% in the Special Number 5 Selection Board held in September 2020 shall be entitled to the grant of permanent commission subject to the meeting of medical criteria. The grant of permanent commission to the women short service commissioned officers who have already been granted permanent commission shall not be disturbed. A Supreme Court bench of Justices L. Nageshwara Rao and Ravindra Bhatt today quashed the FIR which was registered against Shillong Times editor Patricia Mukim after she had made a Facebook post in which she decried the violence that was meted out to the non-tribals of the state. The top court primarily stated that it had allowed the appeal of Mukim. While hearing a petition seeking appointment of ad hoc judges to the High Courts, the Supreme Court of India bench of Chief Justice of India S.A. Bobde, Justices Sanjay Kishan Kaul and Suryakant today observed that Supreme Court lawyers are equally fit for judgeship. Justice Sanjay Kishan Kaul also made it clear that for the appointment of ad hoc judges, the process of the regular appointment of judges have to be followed, which includes sending recommendations to the Supreme Court Collegium and thereby an assent by the President of India. It observed that it cannot agree with the submissions of Senior Advocate R. Basant that a High Court Chief Justice takes a suo motu decision of appointing ad hoc judges in accordance with Article 224A of the Indian Constitution. The Supreme Court of India today also stated that there should be a definite timeline in which the central government or the law ministry has to decide on the recommendations sent by the collegium regarding the appointment of judges to the top court. It also stated that there should also be a holistic timeline in place for the Intelligence Bureau, the Law Ministry, to respond to recommendations which were sent by the High Courts and the Supreme Court regarding the judges' appointment. Attorney General for India, K.K. Venugopal, stated that he will make a statement on the next date of the hearing on the aspect of timeline for the Law Ministry or the Intelligence Bureau with regard to getting back on the collegium recommendations of judges. Well, today was the day 9 of the Maratha reservation hearing, where a 5-judge constitution bench of the Supreme Court, headed by Justice Ashok Bhushan, was hearing a batch of petitions challenging the constitutional validity of the Maharashtra SCBC Act, which provides quota-basis educational and employment benefits to the Marathas. Advocate Shriram P. Pingle today made submissions on behalf of the SCBC Welfare Association through an intervention application. Advocate Shriram Pingle primarily submitted that the Maratha reservations were already given earlier in 1902, 1925, supported by Ambedkar in 1919 and that it was given in constituencies. Senior advocate Sham Devan argued that if the 50% limit is breached, there will be political pressure not to reduce reservations, that reservations must be reduced with economic progress, that in democracies, which is a part of basic structure, there is a competitive limit in elections. Devan also submitted that the Maharashtra SEBC Act legislation really ought to be struck down for having breached the 50% limit and having no real justification. The Gaikwad committee material is really not an adequate material. The hearing before the 5-judge Constitution bench will continue tomorrow. Well, the Chief Justice of India, S.A. Bobde-led bench today heard an urgent application from the Delhi Jal Board seeking immediate directions to restrain the states of Punjab, Haryana and the Bhakra Bias Management Board from not cutting off the drinking water supply to Delhi. Delhi Jal Board apprised the Supreme Court that there is some channel repair work going on between the drinking water supply line which starts from Punjab and ends in Delhi through Haryana. However, Delhi Jal Board maintained that if about 25% of drinking water supply is reduced to the state during the peak summer months, then it will create a havoc. This matter will be heard tomorrow. However, Chief Justice of India, S.A. Bobde, has issued notice to the states concerned in this particular petition and has ordered status quo to be maintained with respect to the supply of drinking water to Delhi from the states of Punjab and Haryana. Well, that's all from Supreme Court today. Do stay tuned with Supreme Court Today tomorrow as well. And don't forget to like and share barandbench.com.